Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at some of the best texture and resource packs released over the past month on Planet Minecraft. I've tested and recorded all of these on the latest version of Minecraft, and if you like the look of any of them, you can download them from the description below. Glamrock, Freddy, and friends will replace the textures of a few mobs, so that they will look like some of the animatronics from the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach game. Firstly, spiders will look like sun and moon, depending on whether it's day or night. By default, the Enderman will look like Roxanne Wolf, but it can also be renamed to Freddy. When you summon or find an iron golem, they'll look like Freddy anyway, and will help defend you from other animatronics. But the iron golem can also be renamed, so that it will look like Chica, Roxy, or Monty instead. You can also try the Five Nights at Freddy Plushies pack. You can rename carved pumpkins in an anvil, so they can be turned into Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, and more. They can then be placed in an item frame to display them, or placed on your head so that they rest on top of you like a hat. Recreated containers will change the appearance of all your containers in Minecraft. Blocks like the crafting table, furnace, jukebox, cauldron, and stonecutter have all been given overhauls. They all have a lot more detail with small extrusions and 3D effects. Some blocks are given small additions too, which really add more depth, like the cartography table, which features a small globe, or the stonecutter, which is a lot bigger in general. A few other Minecraft blocks have been changed too. You can use the Galaxy Sky overlay to change your night sky. It will make it more purple in appearance and looks pretty neat. It's going to be more suitable for certain world themes, and I guess you'll have to choose whether you prefer the appearance of a shader sky over this, if you're using them. Circular Hotbar will change the locations of some HUD elements, like the health, experience, hunger, and armor bars. Instead of appearing above your hotbar, they'll now appear to the side of the screen and will be a circular shape. Sky Pack is another texture pack that changes the sky, but this one has more to offer. Through the night, you can see events like shooting stars flying through the night and even end rifts opening in the sky. You'll also see planets moving in orbit as well as distant galaxies, so it's quite impressive overall. As the sun starts to set, you might see an aurora borealis too. A new version of Azalea Boats has been released, a pack I mentioned a few months ago. With it enabled, boats will have a roof made from leaves and flowers. The shape of the boat has been changed too now, so that the front is more rounded, adding more detail in the process. Rocks will add small rocks and stones which have a chance of appearing on grass blocks. They can be harvested, and their placement is completely random, but they do add a bit more variation to your world. With this pack installed, any wolf in your world will become a dragon instead, which might be good for some fantasy-themed worlds. They look great and will fly around just above the ground with some new sound effects. They can be tamed like wolves, so just feed them some bones. But make sure to right-click on the ground so that you can get their hitbox. By using a colored dye on a dragon, you can change the color of it too, which is a nice bonus feature. This pack adds some terrariums and jars from Biomes O'Plenty with some new additions too. There's around 30 different jars in total, and they can all be obtained by renaming glass bottles in an anvil, and then place them inside an item frame. You can create terrariums which contain slime, fire, mushrooms, lavender, amethysts, and more. These items will look great in an area where you might brew potions. Functional vintage computers will replace the texture of the lectern so that it looks like an older computer. The textures of the book and quill will have changed to a floppy disk so that you can place them inside to read them, with the screen texture also changing when it's inserted. End portal frames have been changed to computers, and Eye of Ender will look like CDs. This pack is quite simple and will change the texture of both regular lanterns and soul lanterns so that they look like glass jars with fireflies in them instead. With back tools, you can place different items into your offhand slot so that they'll appear on your back. It's not going to give you results similar to the back tools mod, but it does a good enough job for a texture pack. It has support for wood and netherite tools. Crispy Cabin is a work in progress, and it will eventually replace most textures in Minecraft. It currently focuses on the overworld and gives the feeling of a dark, apocalyptic world, as a lot of the colors have had a lot of their saturation removed. But there's still a minimalist and cartoon-like style there too. Currently, it's only marked at 5% complete, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Another cool pack that changes boats is LoremIpsum's boats. They look like steamboats and even have small interiors to keep you covered in the rain for extra coziness. There's a few different styles, with each wood type changing the color of the boat. With advanced blocks, you're going to get lots of changes, like butterflies and fireflies hovering above grass blocks, whereas underwater you can find the likes of glass bottles and starfish resting on the ocean floor. When you start to place bricks together, you'll find more variation, with some bricks being darker in color, and fire should look a bit more realistic, with a red tint to it. If you go to colder biomes, then you'll find the pointed dripstone has been turned into icicles instead. In deserts, your stone bricks will have bits of sand covering them too. That's not all the changes included with this pack, as there's a lot more to really enhance the vanilla feeling. You can use the Remodeled Squids pack to make some changes to squids, making them look more like their real-life counterparts. The pack changes both regular squids and glow squids, and you can find 24 different variations to the regular squid alone. I really like the look of the Beveled Bones texture pack. It's designed to look like the promotional art that you usually see in the launcher, which is being very soft-looking and minimalist. The blocks in your world will typically look flat with lighter outlines, but either way it looks great, and the pack has had every block and item changed already. With this pack, the damaged particles have been made red in color, so that they look like blood particles instead. Surprisingly, I think it works quite well, and is much easier than installing a mod to achieve the same result. With the Bracelet of Undying, your Totem of Undying will become a bracelet instead, and it will be visible on your wrist when equipped into your offhand slot. It will also be invisible, unlike the totem in first-person view, giving some more space on the screen. If you don't use carpets often, then try out this pack, which turns them into different colored pet beds instead. They make great decoration objects and a good place to have your cats and dogs rest in your base. Skeletons on stones adds a bit more immersion to your world. When coming across stone, there's a small chance for different skeleton bones to spawn on them, which are just one block size. So this effect is going to be mostly visible when exploring in caves. The Remodeled Pigs pack will change pigs, giving them new features like 3D ears as well as more detail. There's different variants a pig can spawn as, with there being pink, brown, and green colors, as well as a muddy and boar variant. They can also have ears which stick up or rest down. Likewise, there's Remodeled Cows. Just like pigs, there's lots of new variants, with there being 12 in total. Cows can have different patterns, horn styles, floppy ears, and more. You can expect to find a lot more variation when it comes to animals in your world. With fancy netherite tools, you can expect to find an overhaul to the netherite sword, axe, shovel, hoe, and pickaxe. They have a lot more detail with plenty of 3D effects and extrusions. There's small amounts of gold in places, with some visible gems too. You can use this pack to make Amethyst Crystals 3D, which improves them a lot. They have a lot of detail and blend into the game nicely. There's also changes to amethyst blocks, which look a lot more clear, with some emissive textures also now visible. The Elytra Pack adds 6 new designs to the Elytra, which can all be achieved through renaming. They change the textures and shape of the Elytra, and my favorite has to be the one that makes them look like parrot wings. But you can also change them to look like the Ender Dragon, Netherite, Crow, Butterfly, and Phantom Wings. That covers this texture pack list. I'll do another one of these soon, but for now, you can see more texture pack videos I've made for the latest version of Minecraft on the screen now. If you'd like to stay up to date when I release new videos, then feel free to subscribe to my channel.